Hey y'all, this is Bradley Doyle with Catfish Bubblegum, owner and operator of Bradley's Guide Service and tournament angler with Gone Fishing Pro. We put a post up where you can ask me some questions, and I'm going to do my best to answer them here for you. Question number one.
Question number one. How does the catfish in different bodies of water affect the way you fish for them?
Okay, how does the different bodies of water affect the way I fish for catfish? So out here on a lake is definitely different than a river. Now as far as up north and down south, I've only fished down south, so I really can't tell you how it goes up north. I know y'all got a lot colder water, and a lot of times clearer or faster running water than what we got down here. But if I'm on a lake, you know, the wind is your current. So you look for a wind-blown bank. I always start with ledges and edges, and I'll chum up and fish right down over them for my eater size fish. And then if it's winter time, that's my best time for the big catfish. I drift or control drift with my trolling motor for the trophy size catfish, you know, 30, 60 pounds. Stuff of that nature is about as big as it gets around here so far. I got the lake record on this lake with 67 pound catfish. So, I mean, they're getting bigger, but they're kind of fished a little hard down here in Texas. We believe in eating them. All right, as far as in a river, I like to fish slack water. Find me an eddy in behind when there's good current in behind the brush, you know. But even there, I'll look for overhanging trees or a log jam or something like that and get real tight to it. If not, pull up on it and fish down in it. That's just the way I do it. I hope it helps. Next question.
Next question. Any good tips of fishing from the bank? And is it better to use cut or live bluegill?
Well, when it comes to bluegill, you know, live bluegill, I mean, if you're looking for flatheads, you know, flatheads stay pretty close to the bank all summer long, usually under docks or on some kind of structure. But live bait's gonna be my go-to bait at all times for flatheads. I mean, they're a hunter. Most of the time, they're nocturnal. They're a challenge to catch, especially for me on rod and reel. You know, I grew up trout line on it. We caught a bunch of them. Since I've become more of a sportsman, I just don't find as much sport in it. I'd rather catch them with a rod and reel myself. Nothing against the trout liners or the jug liners or any of that. It's just my personal preference. With the blue cats, I would cut them bluegill or shad or any other natural bait that you're going to use. The blue cats like fresh cut bait. And you know, the bigger the bait, the bigger the fish. A lot of times that applies. I mean, usually when I go to a great big old bait, that's to keep the smaller fish off of it. The smaller fish will bite at it, but I like to use like a cut carp or something like that. Something that's real hardy on the hook, and leave that hook exposed. They're not bashful with the hook, and I kind of go from there. You know, fresh cut bait for blues, live bait for flatheads, and you know, prepared baits or just about anything for channels, really. At least that's the way it works down here. We don't get great big channels, but I catch a ton of, you know, 1 to 4 pounders out here on Lake Conroe. Other than that, I would say just have you a comfortable spot. Patience is a virtue if you're stuck on the bank. But hope it helps. Next question.
Next question. I just received my Catfish Bubblegum. I'm in the Midwest, specifically Ohio. The temp is mid-80s, but humid. Should I keep it on ice, or can it be baited on a hook cold?
Well, yes, I would suggest, you know, when it gets hot, that Catfish Bubblegum, you know, it will get thinner. You can put it in your cooler and it will tighten it up. And if you got hot water, it's going to wash it out faster too. But yeah, it should be a Play-Doh consistency. Another thing you can do if it gets too runny is you can add flour to it, or A lot of times I'll take white bread that's usually around the marina, some day-old white bread. Usually overpriced if it's at a marina, but I just pull the crust off of it and mash the white part of the bread in there until it's like Play-Doh, and that helps it hold on the hook. That's about the best I can tell you there. I'm pretty sure your water's gonna be cooler up there than it is down here in Texas. I mean, we're in shallow water. We're already at 90-degree water, so bait washes out pretty quick for us, but it also lets it spread better. You know, if you find the fish, it shouldn't have to sit down there very long. I hope it helps. You know, tight lines to you, and when you do good with it, send us some pictures. All right, next question.
Next question. What size treble hook do you prefer with Catfish Bubblegum?
I use a number 6. That way I don't have to go through a whole lot of bait. I don't see where there'd be any problem with a number 4. Especially, I'd go with a bigger one if you're going to use one that's wire filled. Sorry, these boats got me rocking around out here. Most of the time, number 6. If I'm getting a lot of little bites and I can't seem to hook whatever it is, you know, sometimes brim will get down there, or really small catfish. I'll go to a number 8. But if I continue to catch small catfish and brim, then I'm going to lure anyway. So number 6 seems to be pretty good for me. It just I like to hook up whatever's down there. I don't like something beating me. So that's just my own preference. Good luck. Next.
Basically just comment, hoping you make some more YouTube videos.
Well, I'm trying, but as you can see, it's hard to keep my balance on this boat. And you know, I always got to try to find fish, take videos of it working, and still set it up for my guide service and take care of my teenagers at the house. But I'm trying to get better about this technical stuff, and I sure appreciate y'all for having an interest in watching what I got to say, and, you know, a little bit of my fishing. I really appreciate that. And we're going to try to make everything better for y'all, and try to get more and more help out there, and even from some pro staffers. We're kind of reaching out across the country and looking for different pro staffers in different situations that share the way we think about things, and try to build a reputation and be very informative. That's what we're trying to do. We'll see how it all pans out. All we can do is our best, right? Next question.
When's the best time of year to go catfishing, or is there any specific season?
I don't do too good on my great big old fish on my rod and reel when it gets hot. But any time you can get on the water is a good time to go fishing. Yeah, I know you had to expect for me to say that. I catch catfish all year long on baited holes. You know, you might get under a bridge where it's shady or something like that in the summertime. I catch them on baited holes in the wintertime. But I usually start focusing on my trophy catfish, doing my drifting and looking for my big boys. I'm gonna try some new methods and different stuff here in the summertime. I might even do some night fishing with some suspension drifting and stuff like that to see if I can't get some of these bigger fish when the water gets hot. But the problem is you know, there's no oxygen, at least down here when the water gets real hot, below a certain depth, and you know, them fish can be under a dock in the shade somewhere in 2 foot of water, or they can be out in 40 foot of water 2 foot deep. They just get real hard to find. It's not that you can't catch them. I mean, by all means, the more you get out there and fish, figure out where they're at and what they're doing, the better you'll be. Nothing will substitute time on the water, and no such thing as a bad day fishing. Is that all though?
The next question was, can you use catfish bubblegum in salt water?
Oh, can you use catfish bubblegum in salt water? There was a video somebody sent to us a little while back. They was catching some gaff top with them, but I've heard reports of sand trout. I haven't heard anything on specks or flounder. I don't think anybody's tried. But croaker, sand trout, gaff top, and of course some hardheads will hit it. But the ones that sent in the pictures of the gaff top being caught were actually catching hardheads on shrimp, and then just thought they'd try the bubble gum and started catching gaff top on the bubble gum. So that was a pretty good thing. I mean, I've caught several different species of fish with this stuff. Just caught a big carp while ago. I've caught gar, I've caught a few crappie, I've caught a couple stripers. Lots of them big old brim get down on my baited holes and stuff sometimes. I catch quite a few of those. And there's been blues, flatheads, channels, many channels and blues. A few flatheads. I've had people tell me that they caught a muskie on it, a walleye. We don't have those down here, so I can't tell you nothing about that account. But you know, myself, I've caught several species of fish. My buddy Adam here caught largemouth bass on it. And I've heard of a couple others catching largemouth on it. I wouldn't say it's a largemouth bait, or many of these other species. I wouldn't say it's really a bait for them. I am coming out with a carp bait because carp do seem to like the bubblegum pretty good, and I'm just going to take out a couple of catfish attractants and come out with my carp bait. Other than that, about the best I can help on that one. I don't do a lot of saltwater fishing myself, so, and I just got to get more people out there to try it. So,
one more. Why is catfish bubblegum not available where I live?
Catfish bubblegum is not available where you live because you have not convinced the people close to you to carry it next door. Now, as far as big box stores and all that, we're not quite set up for that. We could be, you know, if we got a good contract, some money, and had the money to throw in to set up our production line, our distribution, and all that stuff. But right now, I'm still making every bit of it with my hands, and to get in a big box store will be more than I could have the time to make or the energy. But your local bait shops and all that stuff, small scale, that, you know, can get a little instruction from us on how to use that stuff or how to store it, and you know, kind of help people with it without having to make big purchases and that kind of deal. That's where we're going to start. I mean, we're a mom and pop shop, you know, just a couple families working together. I made this stuff. I didn't make it to sell it. I made it for me, just to see if I could, and it seemed to be a pretty cool thing on my boat. And then, you know, people kept telling me to put it on the market. You know, they didn't want to have to pay for a guided trip with me to use some of the stuff. They were amazed by it or whatever. And I went ahead and put it on the market. And this whole business part, I'm learning, man. I'm learning more and more every day. I learn more and more about making bait itself. Let's see. Got a good partner in Kevin Rogers. He knows more of the business and the internet end of it. I take his word on that stuff, and you know, try to teach him how to fish. But some people you just can't teach. And you got this guy here that's sitting next to me. He can almost read questions on the phone. But you know, all in all, that's Adam Sandoval. Everybody, he's my partner in our tournament angling with the Gone Fishing Pro. I give him a hard time, but he catches some good fish. All in all, you know, I hope this helps. Any more questions? I'll try to do that. I can show y'all again how to put this on. There's my simple little rig. It's pinch on weights, just simple loop. Keep it simple, stupid, Granny always said. There's my number 6 treble. I got a little bit of original in this bucket here. You know, sometimes when it gets running in these buckets too, you can see it's pretty soft there, but if you look at that side of it, it's kind of crusted over. That kind of tightens it up too, just sun dehydrates it a little bit. I just ball it up around there. Pinch it on the hook pretty good. Say, it's hot out here, so this stuff's kind of soft, but I mean, it's still holding up. It's there. We about played this hole out. We gonna knock out some videos right quick, but there it is, Catfish Bubblegum Original. You see them biodegradable fuzz, fibers, or whatever you want to call it there. You know, we pay extra money for it to be biodegradable. We don't want to hurt our environment. But that's it, you know. Baited hole, just drop it down. We was pitching earlier with a cork in some shallow water. And got a couple bites and a fish or two. The water's just getting too hot. But whatever tell you, you know, all pink, no stink. Let's get out there and catch some fish. Let's go fishing, y'all.